This map first impressions video is brought to you by the Farmer Klein YouTube channel. Please like, subscribe, and comment.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to another map first impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at Slovak Village for Farming Simulator 19. This has been a long time map coming. I had access to this map way back in September of 2019 to do some early access live streams. And at that point in time, the map was being uploaded to the Giants Mod Hub. But for various reasons, the map never got released on the Giants Mod Hub. And we are here in January of 2020, and now the map is being released outside of the Giants Mod Hub. And you'll be able to find a link to the download in the description below. Before we jump in, I want to talk to you a little bit about the map. This is a production map that does require global company if you wish to use any of the production. I would suggest downloading the latest version of the Global Company mod from the Giants Mod Hub and using that with this map. I will include a link to that mod in the description below also. And we are going to be firing this map up on new farmer mode. We'll say while we load up the map that if you load this up with farm manager mode or start from scratch, you're going to find that certain things are missing. That is because map author has truly taken part to the build your own farm concept, and that is that basically in those other game modes, main farm is not there. It is just an empty space. You'll be able to place down the various buildings that you want or other buildings of your own. All of the animal areas are excluded from the map in Farm Manager or Start from Scratch. But if you load up the map in new farmer mode, you will have exactly what you see here. When you first load up the map, you will start outside of your main farm here, right by field 16. In subsequent loads of the map, you'll start at your farmhouse, which is actually in town. Go ahead and pull up the map and zoom out a little bit. This is a standard size map. We have approximately 38 fields on this map. We have all of the standard crop types available on this map. And if you're playing with seasons, you do have a few choices as far as the geo is concerned. The map has a built-in Slovak geo, but that geo has been customized to allow the use of cotton and sugarcane as a crop. Now, cotton and sugarcane are not typically grown in the area that this map is to model, but the map author has acknowledged that you may wish to play with seasons and you may wish to use cotton or sugarcane. And if that's the case, just activate seasons, you're good to go. Now, should you wish to play a more realistic Slovakian type of scenario, then you can load up the Slovak Geo that is in the Giants Mod Hub by the same map author, Mr. Hector, and it is pretty much the same as the Geo that is built into the map, with the exception that cotton and sugarcane are not viable crops with that particular Geo. Now, should you wish to load up some other Geo of your choice, you're obviously free to do that and pretend that this map is somewhere else. So if we load up the lands area, you'll see that on new farmer mode, start out by loading the main farm here as well as field 13. Also own field 14, 16. This is the pig farm. This is the sheep farm. And this is your farmhouse and the chicken farm. The main farm also is the cow farm. Now, this map does not include pre-placed horses. If you want to use horses, you're going to need to place those yourself. And as I said earlier, this is a production map. So the production you're going to have to buy. So the quarry is $1 million. Sawmill area is $341,000. We have a meat factory, $356,000. We have a soy milk factory, $308,000. We have a dairy, $396,000. We have the BGA, $410,000. and we have an orchard for $220,000. And of course, we have other areas. We have the little field 22 and some trees, $64,000. And then we have the largest field on the map, field 26, which is $934,000. Take a look here at our sell points. You're going to see that there are several sell points available on the map, accepting most of our standard crops. Roll on over here. You're going to see that we have multiple sell points that will buy our eggs and milk. We also have multiple sell points that will buy our silage, hay, straw, and grass aside from the BGA. If you buy that, then obviously that will be a third sell point for your silage. And this is typically where most maps will end as far as your available crops and other items that you can sell. Since this is a production map, we continue on. We have soy milk, which can be sold at the transport company. And then there are two basic grocery stores, if you will, foodstuffs that will buy most of our production capabilities. We have soy milk, we have dairy products, we have meat products, we have apples, pears, plums, apricots. Then we have tomatoes, green peppers, lettuce. We have gold on this map. So you can be basically a gold miner if you want, and you're going to sell your gold at the bank. Pretty cool. We have concrete block. We have board wood. We have stone, and then we have crushed stone. So these four are basically going to be for sale either at transport company or with respect to our board wood, also at the furniture fabrication. We do start with a fair bit of starting equipment on new farmer mode. And as I alluded to earlier, if you do this map on Start from Scratch or Farm Manager, you start with no farm buildings, you start with no animal pens, and you start with no equipment. So it is a true start from scratch experience. While we do start owning the various animal pens, we do not have any animals from the start, and we do have contracts available on the map. If you play with seasons, this map also has snow contracts available. And if you don't know what snow contracts are, basically it allows you to, during the winter, when there is snow on the ground, there will be contracts possibly available to you to clear snow from various areas. Basically, when you accept that contract, you will have an area for which you need to clear the snow out of, and you may also have an area for which you are asked to place the snow into in order to satisfy the contract. Go ahead and look at our starting equipment. Start out with two Fendt Fabric 515C tractors and a Fiat 1300 DT. So all three of our tractors are 150 horsepower. We have the New Holland TX32 Harvester, the Lizard 1978 pickup truck. We have the HW80 trailer and the SEK 802 trailer. We have the TX32 grain header and the Corn Champion 5 row crop header. And we have the Salford 4204 plow, Polymag 300 cultivator, Amazon D830 seeder. We have the Amazon ED3000 and seed planter. We have the Kuhn fertilize sprayer. We have the Aerostar rotation 1200 weeder. We have front loader arms. We've got a bucket, pallet fork. We've got the header trailer for our grain header, and we have a set of weights. And then we have the custom animal placeables. Now, if you start from new farmer, start from scratch, these are not placed and these are not buyable. Just be aware. We're going to go over what is buyable here in a little bit. We have a custom cow pasture, pig enclosure, sheep pasture, and chicken coop. We have a large grain silo. We have the bunker silo, big vehicle shelter, we have a 4-door garage, storage barn, 3-door garage, vehicle shelter, large storage shelter. We have an old vehicle shelter, small storage shelter, small storage barn. We have a fertilizer maker, manure maker, pig food maker, seed maker, pair of grain mills. We have the vehicle workshop, gas station, chemical refill tank, seed refill tank, power washer, and our farmhouse, all as owned equipment. So in essence, what you can do is also start in new farmer mode and sell off the buildings around the farm that you don't want, but keep the buildings that you do want. i.e., if you want to use the main farm as a cow farm, but you want to completely change everything else about the farm, then start in new farmer mode, sell off all these other buildings that are associated with the main farm, but keep this cow pasture because you cannot place this cow pasture later. Go ahead and go to tools and then trailers, because something else that is included with this map is a refrigerated trailer. You're going to see this refrigerated trailer is going to work with our apricots, our meat products, our lettuce, our plums, green peppers, our pears, tomatoes, apples, our soy milk, and our dairy products we can load into this refrigerated trailer. This is not an add-on mod. This comes within the map, and it has been configured to work with all of the production map types. When we look at the various production areas, we're going to basically see where we can load bulk goods using this trailer, or we can have it output pallets of products. Go to placeables, and you're going to see that we do not have the ability to place our custom animal pens. You're going to have to put down just stock animal pens or your own animal pens should you wish to use something other than the ones that are included. As far as global company products go, we have a seed maker that you can buy, a manure maker, fertilizer maker. We have a grain mill. We have the grain mill's big brother. We're going to talk about this one here in a moment. We have the pig food star, farmhouse, standard silos, as well as the large grain silo, which is here at the main farm. We have the custom refill tanks, water tower building, just the water tower itself, vehicle workshop, and the gas station under miscellaneous. And then a bevy of shed options here under the sheds category. And then under decoration, we also have several other options, including the farm gatehouse, metal sliding gate, various concrete wall sections we can put down to basically build out our own farm. And with that, let's go ahead and explore the main farm here. So first up, when we walk in here, we're going to find this scattered throughout the map, is we have this little PDA basically of the map, kind of giving us general overview of the area, which is kind of cool. And as soon as we come in here on the left, we have our custom cow area, and you're going to see this little icon. If you activate this map with the animal pen extension mod, you'll see that he has built in the ability to purchase the water piping, and you can go ahead and do that. And basically then a plumber will come and install that for you. Then all you have to do is walk up here, you hit R, you then activate the pipe. You'll know that in my map videos, I typically activate this mod for this exact purpose to see if it has been incorporated in the main map or not. Since we don't see just the water valve and pipe sitting here for us to place, then for us to use it, we have to actually buy it and wait for it to build out. Here we have our water trough. Here we have our drop-off and delivery point for our cows. We have the milk trigger here and he has included the milk automatic milk sale function also of the animal pen extension. So if you don't want to haul your own milk, then you can make use of this building, this little area here. You basically contract to have someone come pick up your milk for a small fee. Here we have the food trough. On the back, we have our manure and slurry triggers. And I have to say, I think our straw trigger is up there at our food trough also. And I think one of the reasons why you can't place this in other game modes is because it's not flat. That's pretty much why they are not available to be bought. Down here on the lower level, we have our seed and fertilizer fill stations. We also have our farm silo here, our pipe, fill pipe. And around the side, we have our dump ramp. One of our first production facilities is right here at the main farm, under this shelter, and that is our seed maker. Our seed maker requires water, identified by the blue trigger markers. It requires grain, and it requires liquid fertilizer. Sorry, it doesn't require water. It requires liquid fertilizer, identified by the blue markers. Grain, identified by the yellow markers. And then we're going to get seed out over here at this marker. That will make our seed. Hill, we have a few more production facilities. Over here we have the manure maker. The manure maker you're going to see requires straw, water, and grass. If we go to the global company menu, you'll see we have the seed maker. And at the seed maker, if we wanted to, we can buy product. Okay, we can buy 500 liters of grain, $475. Do this to demonstrate this. We can buy fertilizer for money. Now, this is obviously the most expensive way to get this facility up and running. Now that we have that, it's basically active and making seed. We have the manure maker, our straw, water, and grass or hay, and it makes manure. And manure is going to be very important because we're going to require manure for a few things. We have our water trigger, have our straw trigger, our grass, our hay trigger, and then our manure is going to come out of this pipe over here and load up into a heap in this area. Here we have our fertilize maker. Fertilize maker is going to require water and manure times 2. I have to put water here. We're going to put manure in this trigger, and this trigger will not activate with manure only in one of these two triggers, so we have to put manure in both. And then once we do that, we're going to get solid fertilizer out of the pipe over here. See, this is now making product. We actually have 333 liters of seed already made in this production facility. We have lots of storage sheds. We have a little bit of a placeable area up here on the upper level. This is where our starting equipment is going to be found for the most part. For sheds under this building. We have some of our equipment over here in this area. A harvester headers and our trailer are over here under this big building. Have the fuel point. Have our maintenance shed in here, and this whole area is a maintenance trigger. Front loader equipment. We should find our other tractors inside of here. That is pretty much the main farm area. You have our silage bunker here that we saw when we were doing our tour of the cow area. So what we're going to do now at this point is set up for an overview. We're going to fly over the map. We're going to finish up at the shop, and then we're going to do a ride around on the train. There is a rideable train that goes around the perimeter of the map. And then when we get back to the shop from the train ride, we're going to hop in our Mahindra and go around to all of the production facilities and talk about each and every one of those. But before we do that, I'm going to go back into the shop and talk about the things that we can buy in the objects area of the shop. So specifically under pallets. We have all of our standard stuff here so far, but then we can buy a pallet of pallets. So we can buy 7 pallets for $110. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can buy a pallet of carton. This is basically cardboard boxes that haven't been folded. Okay, 4,000 liters of cardboard boxes. And buy a case of dynamite, 1,000 liters of dynamite, $2,500. Wonder what we might need that for. And buy a pallet of cement, 1,800 liters of cement, $1,500. We can buy a little jerry can of fuel, if you will. Now, of course, this little can is never going to have 50 liters of fuel in it. At any rate, this can will give you 50 liters of fuel for just $65. Or we could buy a barrel of fuel. It will give us 300 liters of diesel for $390. This seems to be a much better deal. And the reason we can do this is we have some production facilities that are going to require diesel. So you can buy it in these tanks, or you could buy it and deliver it with a modded trailer. You're not going to be able to deliver fuel with this fuel tank. This is only for refueling of tractors. You're going to need a modded trailer like the universal tank pack in order to refill the production facilities if you're going to use a trailer versus using, let's say, this fuel barrel. All right, let's get ourselves a little bit of altitude so that we can look around. And again, this is the main farm. A lot of area here on the main farm. Again, if you do start from scratch, well, this is going to be basically a blank slate. Now, it is going to be terraced like this with multiple elevations, but none of the buildings are going to be here. None of the concrete fencing is going to be here. None of the gates are going to be here. Animal pen is not going to be here. So you're just going to have a big area of concrete and dirt. If you want the cow area here, it's advisable that you do new farmer mode, and then you can pretty much sell off everything else that is here on this starting farm to basically make it work however you want. Go ahead and make our way down south because the shop is over here. That's where we're going to end. And let's get a little bit lower so you can get a real feel for the terrain of the map here. Map does have some rolling hills. Map has 2 distinctive towns We have the southern town here where our soy milk facility is, our dairy facility, several sell points. We have a train depot here, not only a sell point, but also storage of transfer locations. Here we have the meat production, and then we basically have the map boundary. And the way the map boundary is set up, you're not right at the map boundary, then you really have this sense of depth because we have multiple layers to the map boundary. So we kind of do get this sense of depth. I'm going to try to show that off in a little bit. Then specific to the town, if you look at all these areas, all these houses have backyards. All the backyards have like gardens in them. If you start this up without seasons, as you can see, there's stuff growing in the gardens. Start this up with seasons, then sadly it basically kills off everything. Because what I want to also go back and show you is if we go to the lands area, okay, we can basically click on this, and this is basically all of the non-viable land for the most part. And it is priced very high at $112 million. And there is a reason for that. Basically, you'll see down here in the field info screen, this is owned by private property. Okay, so there is basically a custom AI farmer named Private Property. And the reason that it is so expensive is in order to have basically the gardens, looking for the name for that, basically to have the gardens rotate around with seasons, it had to be owned by an AI. So he created an AI farmer called Private Property, set the land value to something ridiculously high. You're not apt to actually end up buying it. And then basically we can have farmers rotate out their little gardens in all of these little houses as the seasons change. Pretty cool. Head on back down here. Directly in front of us, we have a sell point off to the right, and then we have the animal buy point directly in front of us. We have the orchard to our right, the BGA directly in front of us here. You're going to notice in the field info screen that all of the AI farmers basically have custom Slovakian names to them. As we progress up the eastern edge of the map, we're going to come to the pig farm. As I said earlier, the pig farm has the ability to make pig food. We're going to talk about that in a bit more detail later on. See if we can kind of emulate the distant scenery here. See the far mountains move at a different rate than kind of the nearer tree line, which then moves at a different rate than the kind of the town here off in the distance, the real town off in the distance. We have our main farm here, and this is kind of our secondary town. Head on back over here. We have a train transfer station over here to our right, running directly towards a sell point. All of this stuff on this map is incredibly detailed. We're going to show you some other aspects of this detail here in a little bit. Basically, we're at the map edge here. Okay. can't go anymore. I can't go further anymore, but we do have a bit of decoration, and obviously we are way higher than anyone ever really would be. Okay. This river, if you do play with seasons, it will freeze over during the winter. Obviously, if it's frozen over, then we won't have boat traffic. This is the furniture fabrication sell point. We're going to be selling some of your logs, wood chips, your board pallets. Directly in front of us, we have the transport company, which will pretty much buy any and all production products. Over here, he has some various equine type areas, but no actual horse pen. So this would be a logical place to put a horse pen should you wish to do one. Spot here, a little bit of a beach. You could come down here and probably use water trailer, get water trigger. Let me show you some other nice cool detail. So if you find yourself driving towards the edge of the map, you're going to notice that basically a wall is going to pop up here. As we get closer to the edge of the map, it's going to tell us, well, we're at the edge of the map. Stop driving. So that's basically an image plane that has been set up with a fairly short view distance. That's pretty cool. And you're going to find that on all of the roads that basically traverse the edge of the map. We have a train sell point and a truck sell point. We have our a sawmill over here for selling of logs and wood chips. Really nice waterfall over here, nice train bridge. And then we have this forest that runs along the entire western edge of the map. We have the quarry. Quarry is really, really cool. We're going to talk a lot about the quarry. We're going to spend some time there. Just down from the quarry, we have the sawmill area. Over here. Nice hidden pond over here with all kinds of cool little details. It's going to be hard to cover all of the cool aspects of this map. Really encourage you to just download it and just drive around. Drive around all the roads. Look around. Spend some time just kind of soaking in the map. Here we are at the shop. So like I said, we're going to kind of wait on the train, come around here, and then we're going to hop on the train and take a ride around. All right, we're on our train, and off we go, right? So we do have a grain dump there. We have then a root crop dump, 2 root crop dump stations there. We're going to talk about those a bit more once we start driving around. The AI traffic, as we kind of progress across, here we can kind of get a good sense of kind of how the various depths of the map border are working. See that the far mountains are obviously moving at a different rate than the more nearer map border. So with respect to the AI drivers on the map, the AI cars actually have multiple planes on them, so they appear to make decisions as they come to intersections. So you're going to see, we're going to try to hang around at some intersections and just show this off. We're going to see basically some drivers go left, some drivers go right, some drivers go straight through the intersection. So it really does add a level of realism to the map. Over here on our right, we have our 3 greenhouses and our 4 fruit trees. So we're going to talk about more of that in a little bit. We have our BGA over here with 2 large bunkers. Now look across the map as we kind of climb the hill. Map is a standard size map, as I alluded to earlier, but it sure does play as a bigger map because these fields are so densely put together. You could, if you wished, merge these fields if you wanted to. Lots of folks might be turned off by the square nature of some of these fields, and if that's the issue, well, there's some more odd shaped fields more to the western side of the map, or square-shaped fields on the center and eastern side of the map. There's some large fields, there's some small fields, so there should be something to satisfy just about any style of gamer here on this map. So this is going to be a train transfer silo. That's not a sell point, that's for basically transferring stuff from road vehicle to train, or vice versa, or basically using it to store additional crop. Coming over here to the furniture fabricators. Furniture fabricators, we have a dump point for wood chips. We wanted to sell them off the train. We do also have a working crane if we want to offload logs. And let's take the rest of the kind of the map tour around inside the train and kind of get a train driver's perspective. Over here, this is the transport company. Got multiple sell point triggers to basically buy anything and everything available on the map. Another sell point here. We can dump our grain products into. Where we saw the really cool waterfall and train bridge. And then I kind of just wanted to do a first person perspective of riding this train through the woods here. We've got details like these trees that are kind of leaning over, where the train company is going to be wanting to take those out. Don't fall across the lines. Quarry is over there to our right. Coming up here where we have a wood chip silo and transfer station. Basically transfer wood chips on and off the train. Over here, it's also kind of a placeable area. And then we are just about on our way around final bend, which is where we're going to drop off exactly where we picked up at the shop. We have interesting details like this grass that's basically growing between the rails. That. And we've got our shop repair trigger right here by the train line. Got some static vehicles in here. And what I wanted to point out is a lot of this stuff is dynamic, meaning that we can pick this stuff up and move it around. Hiding my reticle so chance of... Well, at any rate, I'm having some difficulty grabbing things, but lots of stuff here on the map that appear to just be, static objects are actually dynamic in nature. We can move them around. I know that I have been able to pick that up. Well, if you play without the... I'm just having trouble picking things up at the moment. Now, the shop trigger is inside the building here. And when you buy things, the first few vehicles that you buy are going to spawn in the building here where our Mahindra has spawned in. If you buy enough things that fills up this area, they will spawn out here in the parking lot. First bit of equipment, your pallets, if you don't have anything else in this area, are going to spawn inside the shop. Then we do have a working forklift available to us here at the shop. That was not part of our starting equipment, so we can't sell this. We can make use of it. Without further ado, let's go ahead and start driving around to this various production area. First, I want to go in here to the train yard. And also, before we do that, I want to talk about the shop. So most of the sell points here, shop included, have open and close hours. When you first load up the map, you may have to wait an hour or so for the shop to open. The shop will typically open at 7 a.m. and close at 7 p.m. at night. No midnight runs to the shop to buy equipment. Be closed. Not a cell trigger. This is a train silo transfer. Basically, transfer into the train silo so that you can then put product on the train or store the product. We have our lime, bulk lime, down here at the train station. I think I'm going to have to move the train out of the way. Of course, it has stopped right in the way. See the level of detail here at the shop. I mean, just at the sell point, this sell point, or train transfer point, I should say. This kind of detail is all over the map. Wonderfully detailed. Really like this map in Farm Sim 17. Came out in two different variants. Map first showed up in Farm Sim 17 in the mod contest as Slovak Village. Really praised that map in 17 when it came out in that variant. And then later on, for the end of Farm Sim 17, it came out as the Slovak Village Rise of Industry, which was a production version of the map. In essence, it was the Farm Sim 17 version of this map here. So this is a potato transfer area where you can roll in here with a belt, or it's not a belt, a trailer full of potatoes, dump into this, and you can pull up your train hopper, and basically it will then transfer the potatoes into the train hopper. You also have the ability to dump your potatoes out of the train hopper and then basically bring your trailer over here and fill your trailer with your root crops. That is kind of an interesting setup. Again, trailer, train here, and then train to trailer over there. You're going to see on the PDA these pink icons. This is a train loading yard, root crops, train loading yard, grain. Find that over here. Railroad silo east. Railroad silo wood chips. That's what those are. Those are kind of train silos for various types of products. Let's stop and look. So we have the car there went to the right. Car is straight. Car is actually stopping. Going to the right. Any other traffic? No, of course not. All right, well, we'll come back. We have our fuel point over here on our left. This is the bank where we're going to bring our gold. Become millionaires. This road is going to take us around to the meat factory. The meat factory is where we are going to take animals, live animals, deliver them here, and we're going to get basically meat products. This dirt road is going to go and head around to field 34, a grass field. This rolled top door. This is where we're going to back that refrigerated trailer up if we're going to load bulk meat products. Otherwise, this larger hashed area is where the pallets of meat products are going to spawn. Around the side here is where we put our inputs. Basically take pallets of pallets, carton pallets, the cardboard boxes, and animals. See those inputs here on the board. Animals, empty pallets, and cartons. We make pallets of meat products. Now, you have to, in order to use these facilities, you have to own them. Go ahead and cheat a little bit of money into the game. Then we can buy all of these and kind of show them off in Global Company also. All right, now that we have $10 million in the bank, go ahead and buy the various production areas. Go to our Global Company menu now. And we see we have custom Global Company options for all of the production areas that we now own. We have the meat factory. Here you can see where the meat pallets are going to spawn if we choose to have meat pallet output. So the cows are worth 2,500 units, pigs are worth 700 units, and sheep are worth 400 units. Cows, pigs, or sheep. We can't buy animals here. We're going to have to deliver them from either our own stock or from the animal dealer. This would be an interesting facility to use with respect to the breeder pigs, because the breeder pigs produce pigs quite ferociously. So think about that. You could bring your piglets down here and basically sell them or put them up in the meat production and use them to satisfy the animal input of the meat production. We can buy empty pallets here if we want. $210 for $4,200. We can buy a pallet of cartons, or we could fill this up to the maximum level, $2,600. And then, of course, when we get our meat products, we can either pull up to the trailer and just pull them out, or we can basically click to have various pallets spawn, hit space, and have those spawn for us. From Mahindra. I lost my ride. Something else to note about the pallets. Okay, so the map author has done extensive work on the production aspect of all of these facilities. And basically what he's done is he's balanced the output such that if you put a pallet of pallets, okay, in any production facility, just 7 pallets, you're going to get 7 pallets of finished goods out of the production before you run out of pallets. That is a pretty cool thing. So there's our edge of the map indicator. Another sell point. So come in here and loop around. You're going to have to be a fairly decent driver to avoid all of this stuff that's just scattered around here. Semi-trailers, trucks, debris, other things. We have bulk feed and fertilizer down here. Cell trigger. Here's your bulk seed. Making our way back. There's the bank over there. Wrong driveway. Here we have another sell point. Out of the bakery. Dump station. This. Wondering, does the bakery also buy our milk? Does indeed. Okay, so that is going to be the milk trigger for the bakery. And this is quite possibly the egg buy point for the bakery. Just going kind of out on a limb on that. I don't know for sure. This is one of the 2 grocery stores on the map. And we're going to bring our products around here to the back, to the loading dock. Sell our pallets of grocery products, dairy products, or meat products. Again, this is the sell point that closes at night, so this gate will drop. at night. Here we have the soy milk facility. Soy milk facility has operating hours. Like, she's closed at the moment. When it's open, these doors will open up. The way this works is we bring soybeans, water, empty pallets, and cartons, and we'll get soy milk, pig food, and liquid manure. So all the inputs and outputs are nicely labeled. We're going to bring our soybeans here. Go inside here. It's all animated when it's up and running. It's really cool. We have our pallet input and our carton input around back. This is where it is going to spawn our soy milk pallets if we tell it to do so. This door is where we're going to bring our refrigerated trailer to fill up bulk soy milk products. We have our slurry output and our pig food output there at the pipe. As far as other byproducts, then this is the door where we're going to put our water for our fill for our input. Across the road from our soy milk facility, we have the actual dairy facility, processing our dairy milk. This is where our dairy pallets will spawn. This door is where we're going to pull our refrigerated trailer up and load bulk dairy products. Down the back here we have our drop off for our milk input. We have our carton input to our right, pallet input to our left. You have a jet, does indeed fly over time to time. You'll see the dairy takes milk, empty pallets, and cartons and produces dairy goods. Then we have our soy milk facility. And we can buy soybeans if we want. Buy water if we want. Buy a pallet of empty pallets. Maximum. We can buy a pallet of 500 liters of cardboard boxes. Then that's going to be running to produce soy milk, pig food, and slurry. Dairy requires milk, pallets, and carton. Then start our production. So we are paying a premium when we buy products at the factory. It'll be far cheaper for us to deliver the cartons. Now, there is no way to make cartons. You're going to have to buy cartons from the shop no matter what. But they're not that expensive, and you don't go through them with that rate of frequency. See kind of how the land lays here on the map. The whole section kind of is a little bit of a valley on either side of this hillside. Our animal dealer. Where we're going to buy our animals, that, of course, if we want to take them to either our farmyards or down to the animal production. Around here we have a barn sell point hay, straw, grass, and silage. Across the street, across the railroad tracks, I should say, we have another sell point. You can also buy things at, so we can buy seed here. Take a look. It's kind of set up as its own little farm. A farmhouse here. We got a car. We got tractors. We got a fuel pump. A little bit of a garden set up. This is the grain dump for the sell point. We can buy manure from here. Also buy bulk fertilizer over here. And continue along on this side of the railroad tracks down to our orchard. And the orchard has 3 greenhouses and 4 fruit trees. Greenhouses, this one will do lettuce. This is where we're going to get our lettuce pallets. In order to get lettuce, we basically have to provide it several inputs. We also get chaff as an output. So we get basically plant material, dead plant matter that will pile up here. You can scoop this up and take it over to the BGA since it is chaff and put it in the BGA bunker. We're going to need to provide it fuel. We're going to need to provide it manure. Remember, at the main farm, we have the ability to make manure. Down at Mary's farm, where we were just at, we also have the ability to buy manure. We're going to need to supply it water. And we're going to need to supply it pallets. And we have our little information board right here. And this one does lettuce. This one is going to do red peppers. Green peppers. Sorry. Then this one down here is going to do tomatoes. Then for our fruit trees, we're going to need to bring water. This tank here. We're going to need to bring pallets to this building right here. And once we do that, we're going to start getting pallets of our fruit. We're going to get apples. We're going to get pears, apricots, and plums, and apricots. Got an information board over here. They'll show up in kind of carton pallets, kind of like your potatoes and sugar beets. I'm not sure. Yeah, potatoes, sugar beets, and sugarcane kind of work. If you play on seasons, the greenhouses will no longer accept water, and the orchard will no longer accept water in the winter. If they already have water in them, they will continue to produce. But you won't be able to top them off until springtime. Here we have our BGA. Two big bunkers. We have our digester. We have our digestate output over there. Pretty stock stuff. Little vehicle shed over here. Should we wish to use it? That was an interesting sound I heard as the gate shut. And I had like a chain link fence gate sound as the gate shut. New. Head on across the ridge here to the pig farm. We can talk about the grain mills and the pig food maker. Over here we have 2 grain mills and the pig food maker. And the grain mill is an interesting product. So we're going to see by the pop-up, and if you look real close on this little panel, you can see that the grain mill takes wheat or barley and corn, and it produces whole grain. Okay? So basically inside this little door, see if we can't get this thing up and running. Grain and corn. Right click to open the cover. Right click to close the cover. Basically what we're going to get is we're going to get a 500 liter bag of whole grain. We're going to need to take the whole grain and bring it over here to the pig food mixer. Pig food mixer needs potatoes, water, and whole grain to make pig food. Okay, so of course we have the blue trigger for our water. We have, this is our potato trigger. This is going to be our whole grain trigger. This is where we're going to get our pig food. So for folks who don't want to have to basically move whole grain 500 liters at a time, you can sell those and put down Grain Mill's Big Brother. And Grain Mill's Big Brother will allow you will take the same products as the smaller grain mill. See, it has a pipe, and then you can basically get your whole grain out of the pipe and then dump into the pig food mixer more in bulk. You can see we have 500 liters of whole grain. And once we remove that, then it kicks off and starts making another bag. And then we basically put it in here. And then it consumes it up. So you could sell both of these and then buy a Grain Mill's Big Brother so you can more or less process your whole grain in bulk. Down here we have 2 of these vehicle sheds, basically from Farm Sim 17. We have the pig area, so we have our food trough. This is a fairly standard pig area, except that we also, once again, have the ability to buy water spout, should we so wish. Now we need to wait 10 hours for this to get built out. We have our pig buy trigger. On the side, we have our manure and our slurry and our straw trigger. Move on to the next thing. Main farm is right over there. We don't really need to go down there anymore. We're going to conclude the tour over at the sawmill. Second to the last area that we're going to take a look at is going to be the quarry. This again is one of the train transfer stations. Really don't need to go take a look at that, I don't think. Here we have Bright Agribusiness sell point. This is going to be our grain dump for the sell point. Then around the back, we have other areas. We can sell our root crops here. We also have another barn sell point right here for hay, straw, grass, and silage. We have a bulk buy point, purchase seed. Here we can buy. This is where we can sell slurry. Sorry. Then even the cell, like this cell point, got myself a little bit of garden on the side of the house here. We've got bicycle. Oh, during seasons, the flowers in these flower pots will change during seasons. That includes all of the flower pots in town too. So that's pretty cool. Around here, the back. We got some chairs around back. Who's ever is going to come around the back of this house at this cell point? Well, other than me, right? See, we've got the map author has an attention to detail all over the place. One of the reasons I went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs for this map in Farm Sim 17. Really appreciate the privilege of being able to show this map off to folks early. I never had a chance to play this map in 17. I jumped on the prospects of being able to show this map off in 19 because it gave me a reason to basically play it for a while. Got another sell point here where we can buy all kinds of cool stuff. So specifically, we have the ability to buy animal food traders. We have our seed and fertilizer here. And if we roll up to this, we can buy wheat, oats, total mixed rations, pig food, bulk right from this silo. This particular sell point, we're going to come in and basically loop around here to our dump station, loop back around, and then out. This is kind of set up for some equine stuff, but none of these are horse in areas to store horses or care for horses. But if you do have horses, you kind of have a riding ring here and some other areas down here. And here we have that little beach area I talked about on the map tour. With some benches and some boats. Roll a trailer down here and use this as a water trigger. And while you're down here, you can have yourself a little bit of a barbecue. Really, where have you seen not only a barbecue, but a bag of charcoal? Now, ignore the fact this is a gas grill. You got a bag of charcoal right here on your barbecue. Have yourself a meal. Relax here at the meal by the riverside. Before we go across the street and look at the sawmill, come across here and we'll double back and take a look at both the transport company as well as the furniture fabricators. This is where we have that map edge sign. We're going to come back to the transport company. Long drive over here to the furniture fabricators. Furniture fabricators will buy our logs. Like I said earlier, this is a working crane. What I typically say is if you want to play the crane game, get in here and move the crane around. Raise it, lower it, open, close, whatever you want. Got the log sell point here. You bring wood chips in on the train, you can dump them in here. You bring wood chips in on a trailer, dump them in over here. If you sell your board wood, this is where you're going to bring your board wood that we're going to look at when we get to the sawmill production. And of course, you're going to have to be bringing your trailers around this area here, which once again is really well decorated out with all kinds of stuff. Here's pallets of lumber products. Big cargo jet up there. Let's head back to the transport company. The transport company basically is going to be the one guaranteed sell point. It's going to buy just about everything other than gold. Here in the back of the sell point, we have a root crop dump. We have our grain dump. And then we have a lime silo. We have a sell point for crushed stone. We have a sell point for just gravel or stone. We're gonna see where we produce those at the quarry. Then this is the loading dock that we're going to basically bring everything else. So any palletized product, be it from our orchard, our soy milk, our dairy, meat production, our sawmill, our concrete bricks, we're going to bring it here either on pallets or in our bulk refrigerated trailer. Across the street here we have another sell point. Lots of sell points all over the place. Lots of these sell points, if not all of them, do close at certain times of the day. So if you like to sell your products in the middle of the night, well, you're going to have to figure out something else. So here we have our grain dump. Go out that way. Side here, we're just going to sneak around. Going to look at the train siding. And this is where we have the train dump for this particular sell point. So this is going to be a long video, but this map has a lot to offer. A few more stops. So over here we have our sawmill, our typical sawmill, where we can sell our logs and wood chips. We have a couple different options. Pretty sure we can bring our logs down here to the mill pond. Also have the log trigger here. Side we have our wood chip cell point, but still amazing details around here. All of these things have been placed. We have kind of an extenuation of the sawmill over here. Is all intents and purposes purely decorational. I don't think there's actually a trigger over here at all. We have various types of lumber sized out and prepared to be shipped off. All to just give you the to sell the concept that this is a sawmill. We're going to head back this way because we still need to take a look at the sheep farm. The sheep farm is right up the hill here. Have a second gas station over here. Get our fuel at, and then back this way we have the sheep farm, sheep pen. We have our wool spawn point here. Got a nice vehicle shelter here, or bale shelter. Our delivery point for our sheep. And around the side we have our food trough, water trough, and again we can buy the water valve. We just need to wait for it to be built out. See off in the distance over there, roofs of the main farm. This is kind of some of the streets associated with the secondary town, small secondary town on the map. That's the road. It takes us down to the main farm, and if you continue down that road, you're going to have your pig farm. Like I said, all of these plants, all of this decorative flower boxes, the Giants logo there, it all changes with the seasons. The concrete sidewalks and the roads also have a different texture in winter to kind of emulate being covered in snow and ice and salt and such. This is our main farmhouse. We have the sleep trigger inside. There's our pickup truck. Around back we have the chickens. Then we have, in addition to the feed trough, we have our chicken 5 point. We have a water trough for our chickens. And then we have our egg spawn point. So our chickens require water because map author has fully incorporated the water, the animal enhanced. Oh my gosh, I keep forgetting the name of this thing. The enhanced animal area, maybe that's it. So here is where we would buy our water valve. If we want it, 8 hours, we'll have our water pipes installed. And then water our chickens. And if we take a look here at the animal menu, you're going to see our chickens are going to require water and food. And all of our other animals are going to be pretty stock requirements. Head back up the hill here. We're going to go take a look at the quarry now. There's lots going on here at the quarry. Your way up the hill. And everything at the quarry starts here at the blasting office. Blasting office is where we're going to deliver that dynamite that we talked about. And we're going to get 2 stone heaps and a soil heap. Buy some dynamite. Okay. Blasting office is up and running. Store their dynamite inside of here. And over here, this is where your heap of soil is going to spawn. And then you'll have 2 heaps of stone. One here and one over here. They will slowly spawn over time. And what are you going to do with those? Well, you're going to take the soil and you're going to bring it over here to the soil separator. Soil separator, you're going to require to bring diesel fuel and water and soil. Go to our quarry at the blasting office. Gold separator. We can't buy soil. We're going to have to load that with our own tools. You can use a wheel loader, a telehandler, a bucket, whatever you want to use to move the soil. And interesting enough, you can even use the in-game conveyor belts to move the soil into this particular facility. We're going to provide it water, fuel, and what are you going to get out of it? Well, you're going to get stone and gold out of this. You're going to dump your soil in here. This has a really cool animation on it. The soil is going to go up on here. This is all coolly animated. You're going to see water spraying out here into this kind of wash area. Then this dirt is going to get separated out into stone and other dirt. Dirt's going to continue up this belt. It's going to get sprayed with water again. And it's going to convert to either a finer stone or we're going to have gold nuggets come out of the chute into this pan. Once we have enough gold nuggets that have accumulated, we're going to get a little toolbox. It's going to spawn here. It's going to have the word gold box on it. This is what we're going to pick up. We're going to transport the gold box and take the gold box down to the bank to make our fortunes. Over here we get an output. We get a heap of stone here. We're going to take the stone from this heap, stone from the 2 heaps up there, and we're going to put it in our stone crusher, which is right here. Stone crusher requires diesel fuel and stone. This has a really cool animation, and your stone is basically going to go through this crusher, a little bit more fine. Go up the conveyor belt here. Another screen and crusher. A little bit more fine. Go up the conveyor belt here. into a final screen and crusher, and then it's going to form into 3 heaps off of these belts. We're going to have a heap of crushed stone there, here, and over here. Now you can take that crushed stone and take it over to the transport company and sell it, or you can fire up this concrete plant, should you so wish. Concrete plant is going to require water, crushed stone. Remember those pallets of cement pallets, and regular pallets. And all of this stuff is animated. And basically what you get out are concrete blocks. This arm will basically take the concrete blocks and form them into pallets of concrete blocks. You're going to spawn out over here. You'll transport these to the transport company. And that is basically the quarry. Really cool to see this up and operational. You want to see that in action before you get the map? Go ahead and go and check out my live stream archive of Slovak Village. It is a playlist on the channel. Didn't take you too long to find a video where we are spending some time up here at the quarry. And then our last port of call is going to be the sawmill. And there's lots of details that I haven't even been able to show you guys on this map. Okay, so this is the other, back it up. This is sell point. This is the other grocery area that will buy our meat, dairy, and vegetable crops. Nope, nope. That's not the road I want. This is the road I want. You're right down here, right above field 29. That really wonderfully detailed pond area. A little rim road around it. Great little hidden area on the map. Sawmill is here to our right. And to some degree, this is where it all starts. Down at the sawmill, we have 2 facilities. This one here is going to make our pallets. Pallet fabrication is going to require board pallets, and we're going to make empty pallets and wood chips. We're going to bring our board pallets here. Okay, and then this is where our pallets of pallets are going to spawn. 7 pallets to a pallet. And then we have our wood chips. Then this facility over here is what's going to take our board pallets, or make our board pallets. And to make our board pallets, we need logs, the wood. We bring our logs, drop them off here. We're going to need pallets. This is why it's really important to be able to buy pallets. So we need pallets to make the board pallets to make our normal pallets. So you could just buy the pallets and not have to worry about this facility at all. Or you could run the sawmill and make the pallets that you're going to use in all your other production. But you basically need at least one pallet of pallets to get the whole process kick-started. You buy one pallet of pallets, put it in here. You're going to get 7 pallets of board wood. Before you run out of pallets, you can then take over here, and you're going to get far more pallets of pallets than just 7. Out of those 7 pallets of board wood, then basically you start feeding your whole operation that way. But you need that one pallet of pallets to get the whole process started. You will then output wood chips and your pallets of board wood here. You'll then need to take over to there. Other than the board wood pallets, all of these other production pallets will work with an auto load trailer set to the pallet function. There you can see the input, empty pallets, wood chips, or wood, and you make boards and wood chips as an output. Again, look at the awesome details inside this sawmill facility. I mean, who's really going to come in here and look at all this stuff? This has a really cool animation as the logs load up on the belt on the conveyor wheels, rollers, roll into the sawmill here, and then basically get output as boards. And the boards basically get kicked off to the side to form the board pallets. So guys, that is the extended tour of Slovak Village and all of its production. Let me know in the comments. Did you play this map in Farm Sim 17? Have you been looking forward to this map in Farm Sim 19? And until next time, happy farming.
Be sure to click that like button, subscribe, and ring that notification bell.